Welcome back to the bench, and it is time to reassemble our Amiga 1200. So I've given it all a good clean. These rust stains, yeah, you're not going to get them out anytime soon, so they're not seen, so why bother. I give it a quick rub over with wire wool to get some of the worst of it off, but yeah, the staining you will always get. Same with the plastic sheet, you can wash it, but you will still see the staining on there. The actual bottom of the RF shield, I give it a quick rub down with some wire wool to get rid of the rust, and then I just throw on a coat of primer. You can see I didn't do a terribly good job, there's a bit missing there, but it'll do for now. So we can get our motherboard back into the RF shield. So yeah, make sure we do put the plastic back, because if we don't, that will be bad. I mean, the board is held off, but you know, yeah, there's a reason it's there. You want to put that back on. Okay, well, that's back in there, and then we just need to obviously put our standoffs back in there. Well, they're not standoffs, but you know what I mean.
Let me take a moment to thank the sponsor of this video, PCB, my favourite manufacturer of prototype and low-cost PCBs. The quality of their boards is superb. They also offer CNC machining, sheet metal fabrication, 3D printing and injection molding. They can even assemble your boards for you. Sign up today as a new member and get a $5 welcome bonus. There is a link to their website in the video description where you can check out the amazing services they have to offer. Now back to the bench.
Hex nuts. Okay, and for that we'll use our little hex nut driver, which obviously makes it a lot easier than trying to use a pair of pliers to get these things off. On this little extra fly lead one on some models, as I said before in the previous videos, this had a little separate little circuit board. It was literally this size, and then just it just pushed in on the side. But obviously they decided to change the design to this, because obviously, yeah, it was probably cheaper than making a separate little PCB for that purpose. So they're just done hand tight for now. I can tighten them up later. Okay. So let's pop it back into our case. So yeah, nice and snug. As I said, I'm not going to put the RF shield back on here, the top part of it. I'm going to leave that off. I want to put some heat sinks on some of these things, keep them cooler for longer, running for longer. Yeah. So our keyboard is looking a lot better. A little bit dirty. So this was very yellow before. This is the broken key from down here, and as you can see, that is a huge difference in colour. So yeah, this spent a few days in peroxide just soaking. Yeah, there's no sunlight, so I just used some UV LEDs. It does the job, but yeah, it takes a lot longer. So yeah. And also the donor keyboard I had for these keys, the Z key was broken on that, so I've still got the original Z key on here, which is, it's got a bit broken off the bottom, but the A key's off the donor keyboard. And and well, actually this blank keys. The German keyboards do not have any blank keys, so this is the key that usually has the U with the 2 dots or note, and I literally just with a X-Acto knife just gently scraped away to get the letter off, and then followed it up with a very light brush over with some wire wool, a very fine wire wool, just to yeah, get the rest of that off, so that it doesn't show the letter so much. If you look at it really closely, you can see it, but other than that, it is fine. So we can pop our keyboard back in. Oh no, first we should install our floppy, and as I said before, I'll be using a Gotek drive. So this is just a mount that I printed off, that I found on Thingiverse, and downloaded to put in there. So that just sits in here. So this is where I try to remember where all the screws were. Okay. So this is the floppy drive mount, and I do believe there was also a little spacer. I was wondering where that came from. Okay, yeah, so there was this little hard plastic spacer, so I'm guessing that was on there. Okay, so that is probably going to be one of these screws. So I will say that that is that. But yeah, I want to screw onto here first, don't I? Otherwise I will not put the screw in. So I can probably use, well, it would have been that would have been a metal insert screw. Sorry, I'm going to use this because I will have some spare screws left over, because yeah, the screws here, mind you, they would have been metal inserts as well. I'll find a screw from somewhere. For now, let's just use this one. Okay, should have put this on, screwed this on first before making the video. Yeah. Come on, you want to see how blind I am. Come on. It's sticking there to a bit because the screwdriver is magnetic. Okay. So that's what that is. That's probably a little bit of tape, but that's probably to stick on this plastic washer during assembly so it didn't go flying everywhere. Probably a good idea. Okay, so this plastic hasn't been tapped before. Oh, that's a wrong type of screw. Wrong hole. Okay, and now obviously because that's plastic and not metal, I will have to use some different screws. So I picked out a couple earlier. So yeah. Gently does it, hopefully they'll be long enough to reach. Okay, so that's our Gotek installed. We needed to put the floppy cable on before, but you know, it's a levy. So pin 1 is there. And floppy power. Hope you put it on the right way. Okay, and pin 1 on the Gotek is here. So yeah, that'll need to go that way then. That is annoying. Oh, maybe if I put the cable on this way. Yeah, that's better. Cable might lead a little bit short, I think. That should be the same distance as a normal floppy. And okay, and this is configured for S0. Obviously this will be a lot firmer once I put the screws back in, but yeah, I want to do a few more upgrades on this before I button it all back up for good. So for now I just want to get it assembled, get it tested, make sure it's still working after I recapped it and I haven't blown anything up. Okay, so let's plug in the power. Yeah, power supply is off. Start. Not SCART, well, it is SCART, it's on the other end. So, RGB cable. And get it in the right angle. Excuse the top of my head if you just saw it. And I'm trying to plug it in over here where it'd be on a 500. Get in there. Okay, monitor on. Rodent, here we are. And let's see if she's alive. Sometimes 1200s can be a little bit slow at starting up because they try checking for the presence of a hard drive first. And but we're getting nothing on the Gotek. But at least we know our Amiga is alive. Okay, so probably it is set for S0, so maybe I need to change this onto JC. Let's just try that again. No, not like our Gotek drive for some reason. Oh, it can't be because the screen's not connected. It would still work, surely. Oh no, it's on S1. That's why. Wrong jumper. Yep, we got a green flash. So it's definitely loading something. Our LED is flickering. And we have workbench. Hey. It's alive. Alive. Okay, so let's switch that off again, I think. And we need to put the top case back on. Now, as you can see, it doesn't look perfect. It's not as not back to its original color. I mean, there's still, especially in this area here, it's still yellowed. And along here, it's probably where it was where the yellowing was its worst, along the bottom and predominantly over in this corner. I have put the screen for the Gotek here. There's just some thin wires. It's a non-destructive mod, so I use some very fine wire to go through the vent and then onto the header, which plugs into the Gotek. This is just again from Thingiverse. I downloaded that. If I remember, I'll put the links in the video description. This is just held on to the ridge here with a bit of double-sided tape at the moment, because I want to take this back off because I'm probably going to paint it. And I'll probably paint it black because it'll then be a contrast as opposed to trying to get it to match the colour of the Amiga, which you'll never do. I mean, yeah, you can get close, but yeah, why try and make it look like the Amiga? It's better to do it the complete opposite, and then it's a contrast. It's a feature, not a bug. So yeah, so obviously I want to try and like put a little bit of filler in there to get rid of some of the print lines and give it a good sand, and then some primer and then some black paint and then a clear coat to protect it. So that's why it's just held on with double-sided tape at the moment. There is a back piece which I haven't printed yet. The original one with it didn't come out right, so, and that it just secures it into the vent so that it just stays put. So let's connect up our. Oh, I need to put the these LEDs back in first. Yeah, don't forget that. So our LED board. I'm hoping it was this way up. Yeah, that kind of lines up. I don't think it. Or did it go that way? No, it definitely didn't go that way. It won't fit that other way. So we need two shortish screws. It's probably going to be these ones. It doesn't want to be long at all. Wherever possible, always just turn the screw anti-clockwise. You can hear it click, so it drops into its original thread that it cut into when it was first put in. It avoids damaging the plastics. Because yeah, if you're taking them in and out, eventually you're just going to strip all the plastic out of there, and yeah, your screw's not going to fit anymore. So that wire fits through the hole in the keyboard, so I need to drop that out so that I can thread the wire through. And plug it in the right way. Well, you can only plug it in the right way, it's keyed, luckily. And yes, I color coded my power and ground wire, so I knew which way to plug this in. This is the original 4-pin header off of the LED 8-segment or 7-segment display. On the earlier machines, Gotek's, these were 4 individual DuPonts, but this one they've actually started now putting it as a square. So yeah, if you think about it, there's one on each end. So yeah, you cut it in half, and then you've got, well, I actually took the original wires out and put just DuPont wires from the single ones in here to make it longer, because otherwise the overall length of this is very short in its first place. But yeah, it just yeah, makes it easier. And of course, these wires will fit through the vents, but just about. And then with this it doesn't really work because they're too chunky, and yeah, it just won't stay in place. So I thought use some thin wires and then just cut the cables and solder them through. So in theory you could take this off by taking all the wires out of the DuPont, and then because that then will fit through the vent. So that's on there. The original LEDs are on there. Okay. So I don't like the way those wires go through there. Okay, and I did glue this on, and I glued just a piece of scrap ABS, not PLA plastic, kind of print on there. Okay, just need to wiggle it and maneuver it around that Gotek mount because it's just catching on the USB port a little bit there. And the buttons, come on. I suppose that LED is actually in the way. I mean, yeah, let's face it, we don't need it. Yeah, put that on eBay later. Slightly used, still in good work, not untested, but worked when I last put it away. I don't think I'd get away with calling it retro. Is this LED board really supposed to go on this way? It just seems to be completely in the way, so when you put the keyboard down, the case down, it's jammed in those keys. And yeah, okay, so yeah, that's not a perfect fit, and we need to do some adjusting on there. Oh no, that's it, it's got in. Yeah, it was just being hard to get. So we turn this on, hopefully my Gotek screen will come on. Yes, perfect. No, that must be upside down, because the power light's not on. The green has to be the power light. Methinks. But the screw holes didn't line up putting it that way, I'm sure. And I remember unless there's something wrong with this, or at some point, well no, I mean, it was warranty sealed, so nobody's been in here and messed around with it. So I'm not sure what's going on there. I'll figure it out later. As long as it doesn't stop the machine from working. Because obviously I don't have a hard disk in there. And to finish the case off, we have the badge with the original plastic cover on. It is kind of peeling off after I've cleaned it a bit, because obviously I had to remove all the gunk from the back. But yeah, I had to resist the temptation to just rip that off. So I put some fresh double-sided tape on there. And put it back in there, and oh yes, looks like the badge could do with a bit of clean, but I think that's just old crap from the plastic. I think there is, just get a cloth and a little bit of IPA. See if we can get some of that residue off. Okay, so the badge isn't perfect. Obviously, it looks like some of the paint has bubbled up or come off in a couple of places, despite the plastic being in there. But yeah, it works. It's amazing. Yes, I've wanted one of these for a long time. I had one ages ago and I gave it away because it had been sat in a box for years and I hadn't used it. So I gave it to my former wife's sister so her kids could play on it. And yeah, they did get hours, many hours of fun out of that. So yeah. But, yeah, obviously, you know, in recent years I regretted giving it away. So if they're watching this, get in touch. If you still have it somewhere sitting in the box, because obviously that was my original Amiga 1200. So I said I'm not going to button this thing up fully yet because I want to do some upgrades. I have some things on the way in the post, so there's probably going to be a short follow-up video where I install some upgrades in this. So if you want to, if you don't want to miss out on that one, then hit that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up, a like, or an Australian thumbs up if you didn't like it, and yeah, hit that bell icon to get notified of when I upload new content. And as always, thank you for watching.